is up, all my dorks, nerds, geeks, and gamers? It's your host, Ghost here, and you're watching a brand new episode of Wet Ink. Today we're going to be talking about The Amazing Spider-Man, The Sinister War #1. That is actually Amazing Spider-Man number 71 in the total Amazing Spider-Man arc. But this is the official start of the Sinister War, the arc that has been building for a long time. And I gotta tell you guys, after reading this initially, I was a little bit disappointed. This is more monologue and more backstory on Harry Osborn and what he's going through as the Revenant or the Death Eater, whatever you want to call that thing at the end, with the purple robes and all that, that has the Doc Ock style arms. But yeah, this is mostly about him. It starts off with all exposition about why he's doing this, the visions he's getting of Spidey fighting the Sinister Six and losing. So you could also tell it is the Death Eater by the purple boxes that it is telling it in. This is definitely Harry. This is the Harry that is the Death Eater that I assume. I really have no idea what's going on with the whole storyline and all. But what I understand is that Harry was the Death Eater, or the Revenant, whatever you want to call it, who is gathering the Sinister Six for whatever reason, because he has a vision of it or something like that, and they all plan to go after Spider-Man. But at the same time, Quentin Beck here is kidnapping Mary Jane Watson, who is trying to find her friend Carly, who is tied up with the actual Harry Osborn. Like, it's so convoluted and crazy, and you also got Peter's sister tied up with the Chameleon. There's so many deceptive things going on. You got Chameleon involved, you got Mysterio involved, you got Harry. There's so many double crosses, so many body doubles going on with Ned. Like, there's so much going on. It's so confusing to understand the storyline that I'm giving up, because they've made it so convoluted with the different types of villains that could be involved, or who's pulling strings and who's not, that I don't think they even know where they're taking the story really at all. And I think they're kind of just piecing it together as they go. But once again, we get that exposition from Harry, or the Death Eater, or the Revenant, talking about the visions he's seeing of Peter winning, Peter losing, whatever. We cut to Quentin Beck, who is showing Mary Jane how Mysterio was born, how he was created. Now, the best thing about this is the green tint that is along these panels here, that you can tell. It gives the whole issue a nice dreamlike substance to it. From page to page, as he's telling his backstory, how he died, he went to hell, he met the real Harry, who is the Revenant, and he made him an offer to come back for some reason, whatever that reason is, it is not revealed. But we know that it begins with Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So we know that Spider-Man is involved in that, and it's just more of that. A lot of exposition this issue, though. Lots and lots and lots of exposition. We then cut back to the Death Eater, who is talking more about Harry and his plan, and Norman, and how Norman fits into the plan with this general. And like I said, there's just so much building going on that it's hard. They don't even make it possible to piece everything together. All they're doing is putting points on the map and saying this is what we're working with here, and that's what this issue is. They don't move any forward on the points. They don't even put the string on the points. They're just putting the points on the map. So yeah, cut back to Mary Jane. Mysterio's explaining his past, who he is, how he started. So the original Mysterio died. Quentin Beck died by Daredevil a while ago in the Marvel Comics. So this is a new guy named Ludwig Reinhardt. He is MJ's therapist from past issues. So he has been in the comics, and he is established, and he does have a connection to Mary Jane. But even this guy doesn't know that he is the therapist and how it connects to Quentin Beck and why he's Mysterio now. He doesn't even understand that, so Mary Jane's trying to help him as well. Cut back to Harry, who is still in the cell with Carly, who we saw last issue. And she's trying to get out. She wants him to help her get out. But he doesn't think he'd do it, because he's afraid that if he tries anything, he'll just turn back into the Goblin and make some sort of horrible mistake and have someone get hurt. But she convinces him to snap out of it. She says, "Get out of that, pull it together, Osborn. You know what? We're going to get out of here." So then they try to get out, and lo and behold, the cell door was open the whole time. So they just walk right out, and that's where we leave off with them. So Carly and the real Harry Osborn, or fake Harry Osborn, I don't know what's going on, is with her somewhere in this jail cell getting out. We cut back to the Revenant, who is having more flashbacks and visions of why he's doing this. And it all is basically about Peter being a bad friend, and him thinking he's getting the judgment on Peter that he deserves, the rightful revenge he deserves. We cut back to Ludwig, who is trying to explain to Mary Jane that he doesn't understand that he is Ludwig and that he only remembers Mysterio, his past, present, and future of Mysterio. And just then he disappears and gone he goes. And she's like, Quentin, where'd you go? And he's gone. And boom, just then the Revenant shows up at the very end, and that's how this ends here. Just me and you, Mary Jane, coming after MJ Watson for whatever reason. We don't know, but I do have some theories. All right, so like I said, this is a not a very solid issue. It's more of a connective tissue issue, but not a very good connective tissue issue. It's more of a backstory of the villains, their mind, their thinking, what's going on with them, and a little bit more of the mystery, but no answers. So the thing that bothers me the most is it's kind of easy to see that Mysterio and Quentin Beck and the Revenant are somehow involved in being the same thing, if not the Chameleon being involved as well with the whole Chameleon conspiracy that just happened last few issues. So there's some sort of big grand scheme of trickery, of not just disguises, but trickery of the mind, trickery of the soul. So there's a whole lot going on there. I have no idea where Quentin Beck and Mysterio and Chameleon all fit into this, and the Revenant. But they all tie together very nicely, and they all have kind of the same sort of power set. So it'll be very interesting to see the threat that they make for Spider-Man to take on, not only mentally but physically as well, along with the Sinister Six and all these other Sinister Six type villains coming after him, all at the same time. So Spidey's got a lot on his plate, a lot to deal with. And to see them wrap it up with future Sinister War issues, I cannot wait to see. But it was kind of a disappointment to have this be issue 1 of the Sinister War, and to kind of start off everything with a fizzle and not quite a bang. But that's just my opinion, guys. Let me know down below what you think of the Amazing Spider-Man number 71 or the Sinister War number 1. Are you enjoying where they're taking the storyline or the pieces they're setting up to take the storyline? Let me know down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And as always, guys, keep it right here on Dorkston. I've been your host, Ghost. Adios.